Hey, it's been a minute. That's all my fault. I'm very sorry, everybody. I know all three of you that listen to this were very sad. It's not Zachary's fault, it's mine. I've been gone, had a little bit of stuff to do, and now we're back though. And we're gonna try and make it up to you guys, and get some cool stuff rolling again. And we're back with that notes and news. And remember, this is Into the Mic podcast with Rashawn Salam and
Norris Cole.
That's right. Norris Cole and Rashawn Salam making returns even though I'm dead. Let's get it.
Yes.
Alright, we got a lot of stuff to talk about since we've been gone for a quick minute. Now, Zachary, I think you are going to start.
All right. So first off, a little bit of injury news. We got Alshon Jeffrey, the wide receiver on the Eagles, of course, out for 6 months. He should be ready for at least regular season, maybe OTAs, maybe training camp. Doesn't look like it's going to be too big, but it's just something to monitor throughout the offseason. Obviously, Carson Lynch with the ACL tear. It'll be something how those two can get started next season. And then we got the Dallas Mavericks. This is about a week ago, so we're a little late on this, but the Dallas Mavericks, well, for one thing, Mark Cuban was fined $600,000 for talking about that he wants to tank, which a lot of GMs and coaches want to tank, in their minds, but the NBA doesn't allow you to say that out loud.
Adam no likey that. Adam no likey when you say that.
But, I mean, Zaza Pachulia going to fall on your leg. I hope Adam says, okie dokie, that's okay.
Yeah, let's talk about that Zaza Pachulia crap real quick. He's a dirty player. It's not a secret. I don't know why he did not get fined. Adam, I know likey that.
That's the only reason that he's still on the Warriors, because he takes out the other superstar.
Yeah, the only reason he's on the Warriors is because he's the tallest player they have. He's the best they can get because they don't have money to sign anything better. And as I call him, the Georgian Jesus is pretty good, amazing. Should have been an all-star, biggest all-star snub of all time, obviously.
Yes. He's almost at Kobe's level. I mean, he can take out a whole team, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So the next thing they're not gonna touch a lot because we got a little secret coming up about this topic, and the NCAA allegations. If you don't know what that is, you're stupid. I'm just joking. You have been living under a rock, obviously, because we all knew. You knew that they were corrupt, right? You knew the NCAA was corrupt.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody.
The paying, going on.
Yeah, I mean, so if you don't know what's happening, agencies, NHL, not NHL, NBA, and have been paying players. Their agencies have been paying players to sign with or commit to different colleges, and coaches have paid for stuff that they're not supposed to, given stuff to families that they're not supposed to. If you didn't know, Miles Bridges was suspended for 1 day. He was suspended for Monday and then reinstated on Tuesday. He had to pay a fine of $60.
Oh, he had to pay $40 to charity because basically the only thing that he did, and it's much worse for other players like DeAndre Ayton, who were given $100,000 to sign with Arizona. But, I mean, Miles Bridges, the coaches just literally they took him out to a nice restaurant and paid for his dinner.
He wasn't even there. No, he was not even there. It was his family that went out to dinner with the coach of Michigan State.
He paid that $40 to a charity, and that's all he had to do to get reinstated.
It's ridiculous.
That's petty.
That's ridiculous.
If you're going to crack down on people that actually did something.
I know.
And we're just going to be nice. No. If you're paying guys $50,000, $100,000, which we'll go into this later, but the big problem is just the NCAA is just
Crappy.
really, like, this whole year, like, starting with the Louisville thing, like, they're just cracking down.
On things that they shouldn't be cracking down on. They've known that all this stuff has been going on. They've just decided not to crack down on it.
Yeah,
so why do it now? Why do it now?
I'm not sure.
And so, you got the next thing?
Yeah, so J.D. Martinez traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks midseason from the Detroit Tigers. He re-signed, or not re-signed, but he signed with the Red Sox on a 5-year deal. They actually had to restructure it down to a 5-year, $110 million deal for physical issues. I'm not really sure what the details of that was, but obviously they didn't want to give him that much money. They obviously saw a little bit of a problem, so they were able to renegotiate that down. He had a batting average of .303 last year, and out of 432 at-bats. He was a pretty good power hitter. 29 home runs last year. Was a little bit, 29 home runs with the Diamondbacks, and then 16 with the Detroit Tigers. So 45 altogether. That's really good. That's one of the top in the league, if not the top. So really good pickup for the Red Sox. Red Sox really desperate for some talent to surround Mookie Bettis and Chris Sale in that lineup, trying to get some power. Martinez is 30 years old, which is kind of baffling why they gave him a 5-year deal of so much money. I think he has an opt-out after 2 or 3 years, so we'll see how that goes. But as for right now, he still seems to be in his prime a little bit. Obviously 45 homers, nothing to be sneezed at. Looks like a really good player for the next couple of years. Just depends on how the back end of that contract will work out.
Yeah, it's like when the Grizzlies signed Mike Conley to a 5-year deal. He was 28 at the time, and 33 years old on that much money is not something that you really want to do. And he'll be 35 with that kind of contract. He'll probably have to move to a designated hitter kind of role in a couple years, just out of lack of speed and stuff like that. But good signing right now. Next thing on to basketball, Ersan Ilyasova. If you didn't know, the Hawks they're trying to win the Tankapalooza of 2017-2018. And one of the first steps, they traded away Luke Babbitt, and now they're getting rid of Ersan Ilyasova, putting up a really good season, probably his best so far in the NBA. But the Philadelphia 76ers snag him up. Great signing for them. Really quality bench player or even a starter when we need him to. Great scorer. And now on to something pretty important. Our first time talking about NHL. I'll be leading the charge for this section. The NHL trade deadline hit this past Monday. If you didn't know, just some big names that went around. Thomas Vanek is now out. And then Evander Kane is now a San Jose Shark. Ryan Hartman traded to the Predators for a first-rounder. The Predators also traded Pontus Aberg for a fourth-rounder, basically. Some other names. Erik Karlsson stays put in Ottawa. Kind of surprising, honestly, especially since the Vegas Golden Knights apparently made a last-hour push at him, offering multiple high picks to the Senators. You'd think the Senators would take that out of fear that he does not re-sign this upcoming summer. But he stays put. A lot of players stay put that people didn't think would. Rick Nash gets traded also, but a couple days before, so that one doesn't really count. So yeah, the two big-name wingers, Evander Kane and Rick Nash, get dealt. Erik Karlsson stays put. Some other names are on a new team now. That's pretty much it.
I just have some breaking news. Sharif O'Neal, top 10 prospect, decommitted from Arizona after the Ayton scandal and whatever. He is committed to play for UCLA next season.
Yeah, I saw that. I did not like that. I don't.
Yeah, UCLA definitely regressed after losing TJ Leaf and Lonzo last year. Maybe Sharif O'Neal can kind of revive that again next year. Just a little bit about that.
In the comments, tell me what team TJ Leaf plays for. I bet you don't know it. And if you cheat, it doesn't count.
Doesn't he play for Indiana?
Oh, damn. I wanted them to do it, fool. All three people. Rashawn Salam. Okay, fine. Then tell me what team. Let's see. Who's someone that nobody knows?
North Pole.
What team does Ike Anigbogu play for? All right, on to the next thing. Don't say it. Jimmy Butler out for a long time. Timberwolves don't like that. They say, "Oh no, oh no, Jimmy Butler out a long time." Yeah, that's not good for them because their defense sucks, and he was their best player by far.
Yeah, he's one of the best clutch players in the game. I think. I mean, you can give him the ball, and I mean, there's not even an option in Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns. You know he's just going to give it to Jimmy Butler, and he hits on a pretty good clip in the fourth quarter. He's my guy if I'm on the Timberwolves to bring me if I'm down by like 5 points with a few minutes to go. But obviously they're going to have to rely on Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns and Taj Gibson. And then Bielitsa will be starting in place of him. If you know that name, terrific. If you don't, then I don't blame you. That's just a little something.
How do you spell Bielitsa's name?
It's like BJELICIA or something.
It's I believe it's BJELICA. Bielitsa.
Yeah, something stupid.
And it's somehow pronounced Bielitsa, but on to something that's important because that's not because okay.
Yeah. We have obviously you know about the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooting in Parkland, Florida. Obviously horrific incident. I ripped to everybody involved, all the teachers and the assistant football coach and the 17 kids that died. Obviously, that really stuck with me just as an event in itself. Of course, Anthony Rizzo, that was his high school alumni, which is why we're talking about this. But also, obviously in Florida, so there's going to be some Miami kids in that school, and a 17-year-old student was buried in a Dwayne Wade jersey, which kind of stuck with me because if the Cavs had not had that fire sale, Dwayne Wade would still be on the Cavs, and that kid would not have a Dwayne Wade jersey on. And it's just kind of fate, you know. I go to church. I think this is. I want to go to it too much, but I think this is what God planned. I think Dwayne Wade was supposed to go back to Miami, and he was supposed to. That kid chose to wear, you know, the jersey. You know, reports are that he was really excited for Dwayne Wade to be back in Miami, and then Dwayne Wade gets a homecoming, and that kid really happy about it, and, you know, repping Dwayne Wade, and then, you know, he passes away, gets buried in the jersey, which is, you know, really tough.
Yeah, I mean, prayers out to all the families of the people that were lost. If you have not seen Roberto Luongo's speech of the Florida Panthers, go watch it. If you don't know who that is, that's the goalkeeper for the Florida is an NHL team. It was very moving, an amazing speech. He did an amazing job with it. You know, it's hard. It's tough hearing about this kind of stuff. But yeah, rest in peace to all who were lost. And the thing that stuck most with me from Luongo's speech, he called all the teachers that died trying to protect students heroes, and that is entirely true. They will forever be heroes. No matter what happens, they'll always be heroes. And you know, just don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not cool. There we go. All right, we're done with that. Next thing to kind of brighten up the mood, I'm gonna let Zachary tell you this one.
All right, so everybody knows Tim Tebow, you know, the Florida Gator, the Heisman winner, went to the NFL, played for the Broncos, didn't work out too well at all. Then last season said, I'm going to try minor league baseball, and he worked his way up, and he got invited to the Mets spring training camp, and he's going in between innings, you know, coming in and out from the outfield. That's where he plays, and he trips on a sprinkler and injures his ankle.
God.
And this Tebow things I've seen in quite a while. And that's pretty bad if you're doing a Tim Tebow thing. Like, you just imagine him running out, looking like a football player, and on the baseball, running out, and he trips on a sprinkler, and now his ankle is messed up.
Oh yeah, I have one little snippet for soccer fans. Paris Saint-Germain's Neymar is out with a broken fifth metatarsal, or he did. I think he tore his fifth metatarsal, and there's talk that he'll miss 2 to 3 months, which could be really bad for them. Just a little snippet of that. And then one more thing. We have Case Keenum and Teddy Bridgewater are expecting to become free agents this year, so maybe the Vikings have gotten in touch with them and said, we're gonna let you, we're not gonna tag you out of respect or stuff like that. So, we'll see what happens.
It'll be interesting to see where they land.
I'm so excited for NFL free agency.
Oh yes,
It's gonna be so good.
Kirk Cousins signs.
The draft is gonna be good this year. It's gonna be an interesting year, so look forward to all that kind of stuff. And then to lead us into our actual part, we have Marcus Peters trade. What are you doing, Chiefs? Zachary, what do you have to say about this trade?
I don't know what the heck the Chiefs are thinking here. They trade Marcus Peters, one of the best young cornerbacks, only 25 years old, not even on an expiring contract. He still has this next year under contract. And only getting paid like $4 or $5 million total, and they trade him for a fourth round this year and a 2019 second. So they don't even get a first round pick for one of the best corners in the league. And apparently this is due to he was non-coachable, quote unquote. But that should not warrant trading him for nothing. I can get if you want to trade him for a young player or something like that, like. You need to get something. Like, you don't have any leverage, but you need to get something for one of the best cornerbacks. And when they traded for Kendall Fuller, when they did the Alex Smith trade, I thought they were going to have one of the best, not the best, one of the best young cornerback duos in the league, because Kendall Fuller is kind of underrated, but he's a pretty good cornerback. He can, as a number 2, and he was supposed to slide right in as the number 2 behind Marcus Peters, like he was behind Josh Norman in Washington, and they were looking to have a pretty solid defense, but now you're going to need to draft a cornerback, and they don't even have a first-rounder, so it's going to be tough unless they make another move, and so they're going to have some spots on defense where they're lacking talent and or the players they have there are aging, like Tamba Holly or Justin Houston even, guys like that, Eric Berry, kind of the older guys, and Kansas City, who had a pretty solid defense last year, they kind of had some injury problems this last year. They're looking pretty good, and now it's kind of looking to be a little vulnerable.
Yeah, so this Chiefs team, they're having a yard sale. If you want something, head on down to Kansas City, and maybe you can pick yourself up a nice football player for pretty cheap. You can get the number 17 corner from the league last year for a second-round pick. Even though he was a first-round pick when they drafted him, which doesn't make any sense to me. You wasted a first-round pick on him and only got a second and a fourth back. What is that? What are you doing?
Yeah, it's not like on the field he's kind of like a Josh Norman, who's kind of like a big, instigator on the field. He doesn't seem to have that much. Maybe I don't watch Chiefs games enough, but I don't see anything that affects him on the field. So why would Kansas City? There's no reason that they would do this when he was expected to be getting traded. Reports that he was going to get traded. I was thinking, why would they do this? It's not like they're planning on losing next year. Next year is going to be a year that they develop Patrick Mahomes, but that does not mean they're going to tank. They try to go young for their quarterback, and then all of a sudden they're trading one of the best cornerbacks in the league. And that baffles me, because if you have a young quarterback and a young running back in Kareem Hunt, don't you want your defense to be solid to give your offense a lot of chances?
Yeah, like I don't understand this move at all. And also, like I was saying, they're having a yard sale. They also gave away Alex Smith, which was a good trade, but this one was not a good trade. This was a horrible trade. They could have gotten, I think they could have gotten a first and a second for him, and they end up with a second and a fourth. And just why? Why would you do this when you've got this young cornerback core of Kendall Fuller and Marcus Peters, and you have you have some picks to draft some people, maybe even strengthen it some more. And now the question I'm asking, I talked to Zachary about this. What does the future hold for the rest of this Kansas City team? Because they're an aging team. They've dumped off Alex Smith already, which was a good one. But who goes next is what I'm asking. I said Justin Houston. I mean, if you look at him, he's 28 years old, one of the top five outside linebackers in the league, premier pass rusher, elite level, amazing. Does he go next? Is the question. What could they get for him also?
Yeah, I think it could be, like you said, one of the top pass rushing outside linebackers in the league. I think they could get a first round pick for him. I mean, obviously they're probably looking for a first rounder. Might have to package something else like a sixth or a seventh. But they don't have their first this year. They traded to the Bills. Which the Bills themselves might trade up with their pick and the Chiefs pick. But let's focus on what the Rams got. Everybody's talking about what the Chiefs lost. Let's look about what the Rams received in this trade. They had LaMarcus Joyner leaving probably in free agency, so they were looking to sign a cornerback, and then all of a sudden the Chiefs go out, and reportedly they went to every single team, and only 3 teams gave interest, and one of those was the Rams, obviously. And so the Rams say, okay, let's see what the lowest asking price was, and we'll go from there. And basically, I'll assume they didn't have to do long. They probably start at the bottom, work their way up from, probably a couple fifths, and they're like, okay, we'll throw on a second and a fourth, and Chiefs, so bam, okay, we're going to get rid of our apparently personality problems, and Rams get, their cornerback one, obviously. They can try to get it with a Rams defense who was already really good last year, didn't put up a whole bunch of, didn't have a really star defense, but they, besides McDonald, of course, but they just kind of work as a cohesive unit. And next year, I think there should be top 5 defense because they were already on that borderline this year. I think they're going to take another step next year.
Yeah, this makes them so much better. Like, the Chiefs not only hurt themselves, but helped another team do basically nothing to get an elite player, which just I don't understand what the Chiefs are doing. It's as a Chiefs fan, I'm very sorry. I shed tears for you. But I guess they have a plan. They must have a plan. Andy Reid must be scheming some stuff up. I cannot imagine a player would be so bad, so uncoachable that you would have to trade him for that. I can't see it.
He would have to have, cussed out like multiple assistant coaches.
I mean, he has gotten the team did what is the word I'm looking for?
Find him.
They fined him and they took him out of one game. Like they suspended him. That's the word I'm looking for. They suspended him for a game. I can't remember when it was, but there's obviously been some problems, but why don't you take the initiative to fix it, Chiefs? Because I know Sean McVay is going to find a way to fix it. Because he's Sean McVay. He's going to whip some sense into Marcus Peters, and, he's going to fit in. It's Rams should feel good right now.
Yeah, like I said, I think they're going to take a nice step next year. I think we're going to see another AFC West that's open to all 4 teams this year. Broncos going to try to get Kirk Cousins. Definitely, if they get it, they'll be the favorites by a lot. But, I mean, the Chiefs getting older. The Raiders have had their struggles. the Broncos have a good defense, but no quarterback as of right now, and kind of an aging wide receiving core. And then LA Chargers, kind of an aging Drew Brees. They do have Melvin Gordon. They do have Keenan Allen if he can stay healthy.
Did you mean Phillip Rivers?
Yeah, what did I say?
Drew Brees? He used to play there. Close enough.
I meant to say Phillip Rivers.
I meant to say Rashawn Salam.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So I think it could be another year in the AFC West where there's not really a big title contender coming out of that division like it was this past year.
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders are not good, and, the Chiefs are holding their annual yard sale, and the Broncos, if they get a quarterback, they're looking pretty good. They have one of the best defenses in the league, so, it's...
Yeah, they do.
It's looking like... It's looking like it's up for grabs for the Broncos. If the Chiefs keep selling, then it's up for grabs. If Patty Mahomes does not play as well as I think he will.
I mean, I think he has good potential. I just don't know how he's going to come in with only 2 receiving threats in Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should draft a wide receiver for him to try and help him.
Yeah, but like I said, they don't have a first-round pick, so they're going to have to wait till the second or third round.
I mean, but if you look at this draft class is actually stronger with mid-round receivers than it is with top-round receivers.
There's better value in the second round of wide receivers than there are first rounds.
Anthony Miller looking...
Anthony Miller, James Washington might fall to the second.
Quantavious St. Brown will be a mid-rounder.
Yes. But yeah. I mean, basically the only 2 guys that I really like in the first round is Cortland Sutton and I think Calvin Ridley, but not Calvin Ridley in the top 15. I think if you can get him in the 20s, I think that's a good pick.
Ridley is not that good. I don't see what I don't get what people see.
Late first round.
I see him as an early second rounder. I know he'll be a top 15 pick though. I mean, I don't know why teams love him so much. He's not really elite in anything. It's just
I think his route running is going to and him playing with some subpar quarterbacks is still trying to do stuff. But I mean, he didn't really produce, and he doesn't really have a knockout speed to be a top 15 pick.
I mean, Evan brings this up all the time when I talk about Calvin Ridley with him. He's barely fast enough to be a wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. I could definitely see him going to the Bears at 8 and then not turning out to be anything.
Yeah, he'll be the new Kevin White for the Bears.
Yes, and that's going to really suck.
The Bears have a tendency.
Let's throw Mitch Trubisky with talent, and then Calvin Ridley, you're a bust.
The Bears have a reputation to take horrible wide receivers.
Yes.
Because Cam Meredith is, of course, good, but he's actually bad because of his injury problems. They're so bad that it's he doesn't even play football. It's he plays the injury game. He comes on the field and fans are betting oh, how's he gonna get injured next?
That's the only game they play in Chicago.
The injury guessing game.
Yeah, that's what they have. That's what they have on the Jumbotron instead of the actual game because they're so garbage.
Mitch Trubisky sucks. Yeah, he's horrible. Yeah, so is there anything else you need to say about the Chiefs? Future, present, past, Rashawn Salam?
I'm just going to say Norris Cole is the GOAT, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Yes, so of course, Norris Cole is the GOAT of basketball. Rashawn Salam, the best Heisman winner ever. You know how it is. Rashawn Salam for MVP. Rashawn Salam for president. Assassinate Donald Trump and go